WaterAid's behavior change campaign, and it's something that we've been working on quite recently, so I'm really excited to talk to people about it. It's really, we're focusing very much and trying to use an approach that we describe as behavior-centered approach to delivering behavior change. And this approach basically is focusing on three things. We think that at community level, and people really, especially with sanitation, the work we do, we think people change behavior. There are certain factors that affect people and determine how people change behaviors or how behavior change happens. So basically, we work very strong. The approach we use is kind of centered around looking at the script, working at the script, because every one of us, as individuals and as community members, they have a certain script about the behavior you're talking about and the behavior you're targeting. So addressing the script that people have in their head is important. Secondly, addressing the script alone is not enough. Therefore, we try to also work at how we change the settings, because behaviors are determined by the settings that the behaviors are carried out. So we work at changing the settings that therefore enables people to be able to change their behavior, because when the settings are not, complementing or supporting that behavior, then the likelihood to change that behavior is there. And then we also focus very much around changing social norms. Norms and social cultural practices are great influencers of behavior. So for us, it's again changing the script, changing the setting, and changing the norms. So we focus very much on these areas. And there are several methodologies that we use. We subscribe to one very popular one with sanitation for us is the switch methodology. It's a very interesting one. It talks about the elephant, the rider, and the pathway. So every one of us as humans also, we have, which is really the rider is where your script works. So the setting is, for example, it's not good to defecate in the open, but you do it anyway. That's a script. So how do we work to change that script in your head? And secondly, the motivation, the settings around you can motivate you to behave in a certain way. So that motivation really comes for us as the elephant. Sometimes it's a bigger thing to move. So we know the script. The script in our head tells us it's not good to defecate in the open, and we know that. But how do we move around that? What motivates us to change? So setting setting really helps us to change. And then we provide very clear pathways. Showing the elephant a very clear pathway, make things easy. And for sanitation, for instance, if I have a toilet that is smelly and is dirty, I would not want to use it. But if I have a toilet that meets my aspiration and makes me feel very proud, the likelihood that I will use it is there. Besides that, how do I get this toilet is a big question, and especially with CLTS and the way we facilitated it before, saying build using local material, something, just start with something. Oftentimes we've also realized from our work that becomes a barrier to use and maintenance until people get the type of toilets that they like. And how they get that toilet is also as important as getting that toilet. So making the pathway very clear, making the pathways to achieving a decent toilet, an aspirational toilet, a beautiful toilet that is comfortable to use, is as important as changing the scripts, as important as changing the settings and the norms. Yeah.